Emily. Oh, Kevin. While playing with my nephew in the park, I unexpectedly ran into my former boss, who had abruptly left the company 3 years ago. After taking 2 weeks of paid leave, she disappeared without giving any reason. Now, standing beside my former boss, was a girl who looked about kindergarten age. Back then, I thought she had left to live a happy married life. I'm Kevin, 27 years old. After graduating from college, I joined a small and medium-sized business. I felt I could manage somehow, but once I entered the workforce, I realized how sheltered I had been as a student. Even as a new employee, I understood the importance of initiative and proactivity. However, being shy and reserved by nature, I found it hard to step forward. My colleagues, who joined the company at the same time as me, were more outgoing and quickly bonded with seniors and supervisors. Meanwhile, I struggled to ask questions even when I didn't understand something and just followed along, unsure if I was doing things right. At that time, a senior colleague approached me and asked, "How's your work going?" It was Emily, a senior by 3 years. She was strikingly beautiful, and I became so nervous in her presence that I acted awkwardly. In front of this senior I admired, I fumbled my words while explaining the status of my work. "I should have paid more attention to help you," she said. Even though it was my fault for not seeking guidance, Emily immediately offered her support. From then on, she would notice whenever I was struggling and would come to help. At company parties, when I was unsure where to sit, she'd invite me to join her. Other co-workers and bosses would just say, "He's a quiet guy," and that was about it. But Emily, without teasing, always encouraged me, saying, "Ask anything and it's okay to make mistakes." Emily was promoted to a supervisor at 28. Following the retirement of our department head and Michael, everyone moved up in rank. Her constant smile, friendly approach, quick thinking, and sense of responsibility made her the obvious choice for the promotion. Even as a supervisor, Emily continued to support her subordinates, including me, and was a kind and reliable presence. She never said anything to diminish our motivation. Thanks to her, I began to gain confidence and show more initiative. I even started to notice myself becoming more proactive. I was initially reserved, but gradually I developed the ability to speak up and take action, making work more enjoyable. However, 5 years after joining the company, Emily suddenly took a day off. She had never missed work due to illness before. I thought it was unusual, but when I asked Michael about her absence, he only said, "She's feeling a bit unwell," without providing any details or knowing when she would return. She might take a break for a while, I heard from Michael, but even after a week, Emily didn't come to work, and another week passed. One day, during the morning assembly, it was announced that Emily had resigned. I thought we had built a considerable relationship as boss and subordinate. I felt she could have at least said something before leaving, and I wanted to express my gratitude for all she had done for me. After all, I owe my progress to Emily. But my emails went unanswered. I even tried calling her personally once, only to hear an announcement that it was turned official. I never managed to get in touch with Emily again. 3 years passed, and I turned 30. I continued to enjoy my work and led a fulfilling life. During that year's holiday season, my sister, who had moved to Alaska, returned home for the first time in years, and we planned a family gathering. It had been years since I last saw my niece and nephew. For the first half of the holiday, we went sightseeing and had a barbecue in our backyard. For the second half, we decided to relax at home. But my energetic niece and nephew couldn't sit still and wanted to play. So, along with my sister's family, I decided to go to the large park near our home. Arriving at the park, my nephew excitedly pulled me toward the big slide. As the slide came into view, his excitement peaked, and he let go of my hand, running ahead. As this was happening, I called out to the kids, "Let's take turns, okay?" But at the bottom of the slide stairs, there was a bit of a scuffle between my nephew and a girl about kindergarten age over who would go first. Seeing this, I hurried over to my nephew. The girl's mother also hurried over, and we both apologized, saying I'm sorry to each other. Then, when I looked up, "Emily." "Oh, Kevin," she responded. I was truly surprised. It was Emily, right there in front of me. For a moment, it felt like time had stopped. With the kids needing attention, our greetings were brief. Soon, my nephew got bored of the slide and started playing in the sandbox with my niece and the girl Emily had brought. My sister and her husband kindly offered to watch the kids, allowing Emily and me to talk on a nearby bench. The girl I thought was Emily's daughter turned out to be her niece. Emily had thought my nephew was my son. We both laughed at our mutual misunderstanding, thinking the other had become a parent. "Looks like we're both still single. I thought she was your daughter because she resembles you." Seeing Emily smile again after so long brought back memories. "But it's good to see her doing well." After a brief pause, I naturally spoke. "I left the company suddenly back then," Emily said with a hint of sadness in her smile. I wondered why she had left so abruptly. I wanted to ask the reason I never got to hear back then, but seeing Emily's sad face, I thought better of it and held back. Emily, watching her niece, seemed deep in thought. Then she revealed, "Actually, Olivia's mom, my sister, passed away right after giving birth to her." Emily shared her story with a sorrowful expression. Her sister, a single mother, had complications during childbirth and tragically passed away. Shocked by this news, Emily took a leave from work. Overwhelmed by shock, she couldn't bring herself to say my sister has passed away and instead took paid leave from the company. Even after her sister's funeral, the grief of losing her sister wasn't something that could easily fade away, so she took another week off, citing poor health. The loss of her close sister was devastating, and her parents were equally shattered. Worried about leaving her grieving parents, Emily decided to resign on her last day of leave. Emily's family home was far from the company. She felt she had no other choice but to resign. Hearing this for the first time, I was at a loss for words. Eventually, it was decided that Olivia would be raised by her grandparents. However, Emily was determined to take her sister's place. After discussions, they agreed to raise Olivia together as a family of 3. To make child-rearing easier, they moved from the city to this more rural area. Coincidentally, it was near my parents' home. As we were talking, Olivia came over and said, "Emmy, shall we go home?" "So, you're called Emmy," I said with an involuntary smile at the adorable nickname. Emily laughed a bit shyly. "Is this big brother a friend of you?" Used to being called Kevin by my niece and nephew, I felt a bit shy being called big brother. "Yes, I'm a friend of Emmy." Emily seemed a bit embarrassed as I used her nickname. Thanks to Olivia, the mood lightened, softening the earlier sadness. "This inbox was fun. See you again. Bye-bye," Amy cheerfully called out to my niece and nephew, waving with a smile. Then, she started to leave, holding Emily's hand. "Emily, can I ask for your contact information?" Not wanting to part ways just yet, I hastily called out to Emily. It turned out to be the right decision to ask for her contact at that moment. Although Emily's number was still in my phone, she had changed her phone number. If I had just thought to send an email later, I might never have met Emily again. Emily gladly gave me her contact information. "See you later," I said, waving to Olivia as our reunion for the day came to an end. Even though I exchanged contacts with Emily, I struggled with what to write. "Glad to have met you today" seemed too straightforward, and "it was fun playing together" didn't quite fit. I could easily write business emails, but finding the right words for this was tough. I kept looking at and turning away from my phone. Noticing this, my sister teasingly asked, "Is it about that former boss you met today?" "No, it's not," I protested, but apparently, it was written all over my face. She chuckled and teased, "I thought she was your type." My sister knew me well. She could see right through me. Emily was indeed beautiful. Of course, I didn't think I was her match, but the Emily I saw again after 3 years had changed from being stern to a softer, kinder presence. On the last day of the holiday, I went to the airport to see off my sister's family. I also planned to return to my own home on the same day. Eventually, I sent Emily an email that day. Despite my deliberation, it ended up being a simple message about heading back home and that I would contact her again. Emily replied, "Thanks for playing with Olivia. Take care on your way home." Back to my regular life, Emily stayed on my mind. I wanted to send her a message, but still couldn't decide what to say. Finally, I started talking about local topics, like whether the old candy store we used to visit was still there or recommending good restaurants. Emily shared her favorite spots and places she frequently visited. Sometimes we talked about Olivia, and though we didn't have deep conversations, we exchanged emails once or twice a week. Then came Christmas holiday. I hadn't always gone back home for the Christmas holiday every year, but this time, I returned on the first day of the holiday season. Though it might seem disrespectful to the ancestors, my real reason for going home was the desire to see Emily and Olivia. "Hi, Kev," Olivia ran over with a bright smile. That evening, I had arranged to meet Emily and Olivia near a convenience store close to my home. Olivia had expressed a wish to go to the Christmas market with me, so the three of us set off together. Hold hands because it's crowded. Emily must have always told her that. Olivia held both Emily's and my hand tightly. It was only my second time meeting Olivia, but she was incredibly friendly and adorable. Skipping between Emily and me, she excitedly said, "I'm so looking forward to the Christmas market, the market I used to go every year as a child." Seeing the stalls, I too got excited, nostalgic. Christmas tree ornaments, eggnog, toy lotteries. Every time Olivia said, "I want to drink this," or "I want to try that," I joined in and had fun with her. When I offered to pay for both Olivia's and Emily's treats, Emily tried to refuse, but I insisted, "It's okay, I love the Christmas market," giving a somewhat awkward reason. I was just happy to have this reunion after such a long time and wanted to do at least this much. Seeing Olivia and Emily smiling the whole time was more than enough for me. That night, before going to sleep, I received an email from Emily. In the email, she shared how Olivia kept talking about all the fun and happy moments of the day until she fell asleep, smiling and saying she wanted to play again with me. The next day, I received an email with a drawing Olivia made with crayons. It was a colorful depiction of the market stalls and the three of us holding hands, walking together. At that moment, I felt as if I had gained another niece, cherishing the drawing with an uncle's affection. But perhaps, I was already developing a different kind of feeling for Emily. As next Christmas approached, I found myself thinking about a present for Olivia, but also about Emily. Then came Christmas. Since I was off work, I went to visit Emily and Olivia. I skipped visiting my family home and headed straight to our meeting spot near the local train station. We had arranged to meet there to enjoy the Christmas event happening in front of the station. It was another of Olivia's requests that we were fulfilling. When Olivia saw me, she ran over with a smile, calling Kev, and excitedly led me to Emily. It was my first time seeing Emily and Olivia since last Christmas holiday. Seeing their beaming faces, Emily with a white scarf and Olivia's energetic demeanor, I felt a sense of relief. "Merry Christmas, Olivia," I greeted, handing her the Christmas present I brought. Olivia's eyes sparkled as she received it, saying thank you, with a big smile, holding it carefully with both hands. Emily said to Olivia, "Good for you," and then turned to me with a smile, saying, "Thank you." She appeared slightly apologetic, scrunching up her face a bit. In fact, Emily knew what was inside Olivia's present. I had struggled with what to get her and had secretly asked Emily what Olivia might like. Initially, Emily was hesitant to tell me, but during our conversation over email, Olivia expressed a desire to go to the Christmas event at the station. Hearing about the event, perhaps recalling our time at the Christmas market, Olivia said, "I want to play with Kevin again." This gave me a good pretext to meet, and also made the arrangement of her present go smoothly. The dazzling Christmas lights were enchanting. I took a photo of Emily and Olivia in front of a large Christmas tree. They really look like a beautiful mother-daughter pair, I thought. "Would you like us to take a picture?" We were approached by a young couple, probably college students, offering to take our photo. "Say that again." "We can take a family photo for you, so why don't you join in?" Emily and I exchanged a puzzled look. Emily appeared just as perplexed as I was. Then Olivia, smiling, beckoned us over. I awkwardly crouched next to Olivia. Along with Olivia, Emily and I also said cheese and had the photo taken. After expressing our thanks to the couple, we looked at the photo they took for us. "Show me," Olivia said, and as I showed her the photo, my eyes met Emily's. She smiled at me. I wondered if her slight bashfulness was just my imagination. Was I imagining her bashfulness? The photo of the three of us, in this time spent together, filled me with happiness and warmth, and then I decided it was time to share something important with her. After dinner at a casual restaurant, I drove Emily and a sleepy Olivia back to their home. Olivia had fallen asleep in Emily's arms, exhausted from the excitement. When we arrived at the house, Emily quietly came out from the entrance. She mentioned that her mother had noticed and had taken over putting Olivia to bed. We sat on a bench in a small park across from Emily's house, and I took a moment to gather my thoughts. I pulled a small package from my bag and handed it to Emily as her Christmas present. "For me," she exclaimed in surprise and delight. "Can I open it?" she asked. As I said yes, Emily carefully opened the small package. "It's beautiful," she said. The present was a necklace with a small diamond, a gift for Emily. It was a simple design, but I had carefully chosen it, thinking it would suit Emily. She looked at the necklace with delight, but her expression also carried a hint of confusion. "Emily, I know you are doing your best as Olivia's mom, but can I be by her side too?" I asked her, expressing my feelings that I had been contemplating for a long time. Emily looked at me with surprise, then with a serious gaze, her eyes gradually filling with tears. She looked down, biting her lip, and gazing off into the distance, seemingly lost in thought. From her profile, she appeared to be deep in thought. After a while, she spoke. "I'm sorry and thank you. I'm really happy to know how you feel, Kevin. To be honest, I'm drawn to you too. You've been kind to both Olivia and me, and our email exchanges have been a comforting part of my day. I've been grateful to have you in our lives, but I want to raise Olivia properly. I may not be her real mother, but I intend to be by her side as if I were. So, I can't reciprocate your feelings. I'm sorry, but thank you." Emily tried to end the conversation there. But I wasn't speaking out of a half-hearted sentiment. I believed I understood how much Emily cherished Olivia from our regular email exchanges, even though we had only reunited less than a year ago. I knew that even if marriage was in our future, becoming a parent to someone requires a significant commitment. Regardless of whether Emily, Olivia, and I would have that kind of relationship in the future, my desire to support their happiness was genuine. I conveyed my feelings straightforwardly to Emily. "Even if it's not as a lover, I still want to be there for you and Olivia. I might be younger and less reliable, but I want to be on your side. That's all." After I spoke, Emily, with tears streaming down her face, nodded and said, "Thank you." After that, we had dinner at a diner and became close enough to meet several times a year, the three of us, Emily, Olivia, and myself. After that, we continued to meet several times a year, with me visiting Emily and Olivia more often. Amy's wish to ride planes led to them visiting my area for sightseeing. When Olivia was about to start elementary school, we went shopping together for her backpack. We bought some light meals from a store and decided to have lunch in a park with a playground. While eating sandwiches and enjoying the moment, Olivia suddenly said, "Kevin, Emmy, are you not going to get married?" By this time, Olivia had totally been used to call me Kev. I wonder where she picked that idea up from. Surprised by her sudden question, Emily and I both choked on our food. "Why do you think that, Olivia?" I asked, trying to stay calm. "Because Kev, you like Emmy, right?" Olivia, with her cheeks full of sandwich, giggled and looked at Emily and me, saying I knew it. At that moment, we both laughed along with her, but I noticed a slight change in Emily's feelings. My own feelings had also grown stronger since that time. On another day, I formally proposed to Emily. "Yes," she replied, with a beaming smile and no hesitation. Thanks to Amy's words, we were able to move forward. I like to think that she was the little link that brought us together. Olivia entered elementary school, and I became her father. To be closer to our families, I made a significant decision to change jobs and move back to my hometown. We rented an apartment near both our parents' homes and started living together as a family. Now, we are raising Olivia together with both sets of grandparents. I'm committed to protecting her pure and honest smile, as well as Emily's, for years to come.